Listen, lately I've kind of been struggling to come up with some video ideas here on YouTube, and I think part of the reason is that, well, my financial life, it feels kind of stale because I'm buying the same, investments, I'm using the same bank accounts, most of my money moves automatically, and I'm following the same basic plan that I've talked about here for years. Now, there isn't a dramatic decision that I'm making every single week, and when your job here on YouTube is to make videos about money, it can kind of feel almost like a problem here. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that this is what I've been trying to build the entire time that I've been doing this stuff. I wanted my finances to become boring. Now, I think this is extra weird for me because I've just been so passionate about making content and talking about different investments, and there's not really a lack of topics to go down. But what really feels weird about me, because I just love talking about the investments and things like that, is that when I first started investing, nothing felt boring. I started with a very small amount of money in an individual stock. And I remember my heart was racing right after I bought it. I kept checking that dang position. Every single little price movement felt like it was super important. My portfolio was going to be made or broke by that first investment. And then I went through the phase that I think a lot of new investors go through. I tried different stocks. I copied ideas that I saw online. I experimented with penny stocks. And hey, I made trades without fully understanding what I was doing. Now, at one point, I was risking money that I needed for rent, and looking back, I wasn't really investing in that time period. It was gambling with money that I actually couldn't afford to lose. But at the same time, it was still very exciting to me. At that point, there was always something that was happening. But now, a huge percentage of my portfolio is just in ETFs. I make the exact same purchases. My Roth IRA has a plan. My savings account have a specific job. Heck, even Emma and I contribute to shared goals when we get paid. Now, one of the sides of the duplexes that I own is producing real rental income at this point. And a lot of this has happened, and it doesn't really need me to make any fresh decisions with it. That is a much healthier version financially. It's just not as dramatic as everything that was happening before. And this is the real trap that I think is happening with me personally, is just that progress looks very different at this point in my financial life, right? For a long time, progress to me felt like it was just activity. It was finding a new stock. It was opening a better account. It was moving money for a slightly higher interest rate. It was researching another strategy, checking on other apps. It was trying to optimize for one more percentage point somewhere. I spent years chasing small differences between high yield savings accounts, and there were weeks where I would check several different banks and kind of just decide where my paycheck would go. Now, technically, I was optimizing for my money, but I was also creating way more work for myself in those situations. The same thing happened with investing. Now, more holdings felt like I was doing more. More research, it felt productive at the time. More decisions, it felt like progress, but then my life got extremely busy, right? The duplex renovation became much larger than I ever anticipated. A project that I initially thought would be around $30,000 and take just a couple months, it actually cost me over $100,000, and it took about 2 years. So that really burned me out. And it pulled my attention away from YouTube, from the investments that I was making, and that experience really taught me something that I didn't fully appreciate before. Every complicated financial decision has an attention cost. You don't pay it in dollars, though, you pay it in time, stress, and mental capacity. And the crazy part is, I think most people should be striving to get to this point of boringness with their finances. I'm not saying that everything is perfect for me, but let me show you what boring actually looks like, okay? So my finances feel really competitive to me right now. Not competitive, they feel really repetitive because the system is doing, exactly what it was designed to do. Money's coming in, bills are getting paid, savings, move towards specific goals, tax advantage accounts are being prioritized, and most new investment dollars, they're going into a simpler group of funds that I'm selecting. Rental income is already helping me cover my own housing costs. Additional income can be invested and reinvested into my business, or I can invest it into the market. And it sounds boring because it really is just boring, but boring doesn't mean that nothing is happening here because compounding is already taking place for me. The mortgage balance is changing. The portfolio is growing and it's now producing some income. Skills that I've built over several years are generating income now, and videos that I made in the past are still bringing in views. Now, Systems are handling the decisions that used to require a bunch of willpower, a bunch of thinking for me to do, and the results can move even when the routine doesn't really change what I'm doing. And I think this is where personal finance content can sometimes give people the wrong impression. Okay, every video needs a hook, a new opportunity, or a new thing that you should change immediately. Your actual financial life, though, it probably shouldn't work that way at all. If your plan is to change every week, well, then you actually probably don't even have a plan. You might just be reacting to the external environment and really get pushed into hype actions and things like that, which really significantly impact your portfolio, but not necessarily in a good way. Now, part of me in even making this video actually feels a little bit hypocritical for a couple of different reasons. I'll explain it. Basically, I don't want to make it sound like I have everything figured out financially and I'm way more ahead than everybody else and I've got this all figured out. You know, I still overthink things way too much, from really large purchasing decisions that I over research, even the smallest ones. Like, it took me weeks to figure out I wanted to buy this Fitbit Air, which, just comparing all the different wearables and health stuff, like, I just waste so much time on this crap that, you know, at the end of the day, if I just make a decision faster, it doesn't really necessarily matter as much with what I go with. And I put all this sunk cost into it. Like, there's just crazy things that I just go down the rabbit hole on. I've reached goals that I honestly didn't really feel like I would reach in my 20s. And then somehow I'm still feeling behind. And that's the part that really surprised me, because I remember so many people talking about this that I would watch on YouTube, or like some peers just talking about how you always move that bar. And I was like, yeah, man, that's never going to happen to me. I've got my goals. I've got my stuff together. But, you know, you tell yourself when your portfolio reaches a certain number, or when the side hustle reaches a certain level for you, or when a project is finally done, you're going to feel like you've made it. And then you actually get there, and all that happens is that finish line move. So I've witnessed that now, you know, firsthand. And I'm getting closer to 30 now. I still think about how all the decisions I made, you know, I should have started earlier. You know, I should have invested more, moved faster. And that urgency has helped me. It actually pushed me to build this YouTube channel while I was working a full-time job. And it pushed me to find additional income streams far beyond where, you know, the typical 9 to 5 would have just put me. Now, urgency can also make good progress feel ordinary almost immediately with a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. You know, I don't want to spend years building financial freedom and then become too impatient to notice that there's parts of this that are already working for my day to day. And I think keeping the little wins in focus and understanding, you know, when you hit different milestones is pretty important, because we all need to reflect back on what we're actually trying to do and what this boring system is supposed to buy you. And that is, like, you know, I've talked a ton about financial freedom on this channel. For me, that's never meant hitting a specific portfolio number, though, just so that I can look at it. You know, I want income from my investments. I want income from real estate and businesses that doesn't really require me to trade more of my time for every single dollar that I get. I want lower fixed expenses, so I don't need an enormous amount of capital money to make the different choices that I have to make. I want to, you know, provide Emma, my fiance, with flexibility. I want time with my future family. I want the ability to continue taking career risks like I have, work on something that I truly care about, or walk away from something that's just making my life worse, right? Now, a boring financial system is useful if it creates room for more interest to your life. And the problem is that once the money system becomes stable, you really have to decide what you want to do with it and the room that it's creating for you. And that's the part I'm starting to really think about right now. So in kind of talking this through with you and just sharing my thoughts on this boring system that's been built, I want to talk a little bit about the next phase and where I see myself headed with this, because I really don't feel like the next phase needs to be more complicated, a more complicated portfolio, that is. It probably doesn't require another bank account for me to open up or a new strategy every single month that passes by. It might be less about finding more things to optimize and more about making sure that the systems I built are really helping me live the way that I'm intending to live. Now, am I using the time that I'm saving well? Am I taking care of my health, which, you know, I keep pushing off? Am I reinvesting enough into the business? Am I building enough income so that it gives me more freedom? Or am I just creating another job for myself? Now, am I making decisions because they actually improve my life, or because they give me something new to chase? Now, those are the kind of questions that for me personally are just harder to answer. And it's, you know, cut and dry when you're comparing it to ETFs, wondering which expense ratio is lower. You know, that doesn't really matter as much right now for me as the latter of stuff. Okay, now I've kind of created a framework for understanding, the boring financial elements to all of this stuff. And if you're somebody who feels like your finances are boring too, one, that's probably a better thing than you would think. But I would also look at four main things here. First, I would check whether boring means that your system is working or whether you've simply stopped paying attention to it. I can't tell you like how bad it was when I stopped focusing on my portfolio and it wasn't optimized. I lost thousands of dollars during the time I was renovating my duplex on this. There is a huge difference between automation and just simple neglect to what you're doing. I learned that after leaving an old HSA account even untouched, just paying for fees that I didn't even realize were there. Now, I want you to review your system, periodically, but don't rebuild it every single week. Second, I would measure outcomes instead of activity. So I'd look at things like your savings rate, your debt, your investment contributions, your cash flow, and whether your stress is actually improved, right? Opening a new account, it definitely feels productive. I actually opened a new one recently. I've got some content coming out on that, but mainly like the reason why I like doing that for me personally is because so many people are interested in investing. Maybe they want to be using certain accounts and I want to provide content for, tailored to the exact account that they're doing. So it's a little bit different for me. But if you're somebody who's popping around different random brokerages, it complicates things. All right. So yeah, it feels productive, but quietly funding the same account for 5 years, usually matters way more. Third, I'd identify the decisions that you can stop making. All right. If you have already chosen a reasonable investment plan, just automate it, right? If each account has a clear purpose, you can stop moving money around for tiny little insignificant differences. You keep enough flexibility to adjust when things change, maybe brokerage policies or whatever happens. But you keep that. And then when they do change, you don't turn it into a hobby. You adjust, you stick to your guns, and you're in a much better spot with that stuff. So finally, I would decide for the fourth thing is what the system you're trying to optimize is actually getting you. Now, maybe your goal is to have more time with your kids. Maybe it's the ability to change careers. Maybe it's sleeping better because an emergency doesn't wreck your entire plan. If the system is boring, but your life has more room, then it's probably already doing its job. So this comes full circle back to the intro where I was talking about, hey, struggling to think of different content ideas for personal finance, just based off my own life and like things that I'm doing. And, I'm still going to share the portfolio changes that happen when they do happen, investment research that I'm doing, account updates, things like that, mistakes when they even come along. But also, I just want to be really honest about this phase of where I'm at in building wealth. Because sometimes the progress with this, it looks like doing the same reasonable thing for an extremely long time with very little excitement to it. And I feel like I've been in that phase for now years. And that's difficult to turn into a thumbnail and make content around. Like nobody wants to see me just go up to my desk and work and then make dinner and go to bed and then wake up and do the same thing over and over every day, but make smart decisions with the money at that point. Like, it's hard when it comes to the YouTube game with that stuff, but it can also be the entire point of a lot of this stuff. My financial life feels boring because fewer things are actually requiring my attention than they used to. Now I need to make sure that I'm actually using that attention that I'm able to gain and then put it to better use than it previously was. So if your financial life has entered this phase of boringness, I want to know what it kind of looks like for you. Are your systems working? Do you feel stuck? Because I feel like I'm right there with you. And if you want to follow along for the next phase of my journey, well, I'm going to figure out the answers to these questions for myself. Then subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.